Welcome once again to Castrol Active Champions, and what a champion we've got to present before you today, to talk about today, because in the world of modern cricket there is no bigger champion than Virat Kohli. We talked about Virat Kohli earlier when he was the performer of the month. There's very few months that go by when he's not the performer, but this is a look back at what's been an amazing career. Why look back? Because it's already been 13 years in first-class cricket. There was the little chubby, slightly overweight fellow who turned up for Delhi in 2006 and in only his second match scored that 90 against Karnataka and showed enormous courage at that point. That, of course, was the game where he lost his father so early in life, came back, got that 90, and everyone said, wow, this kid is going to be special. By 2008, he was captain of the India under-19 side. Again, leadership skills spotted very early. It was clear then Virat Kohli wanted to be the middle of it all. And you could see that fiery personality come through, whether it was in the reaction to the game thereafter, whether it was in controlling a side that produced a lot of very good players, or whether it was those first early months when he came to play for the Royal Challengers. But you knew by 2008, you were seeing somebody who might have been work in progress, but was going to be somebody special. By 2008, he was already playing for India. That just tells you how, when ability is spotted early in India, even today, you get fast-tracked.
I've spent a lot of time with him in RCB as well, Royal Challengers Bangalore, the first season. He was there straight after that Under-19 World Cup. So got to spend a lot of time with him. The thing which is remarkable with him is how quickly he adapted to different levels. As he was playing higher level of cricket, he quickly understood what are the technical changes which are required for him to be successful at that level, and he started adapting very quickly, and he never stopped.
Then 2011, he's already in the World Cup side. Got 100 against Bangladesh, of course, and towards the end of the World Cup, he's batting number 4, remember. He already gave indications that he liked the big situations, but he always had the right word for it, remember? Carrying Tendulkar on his shoulders and saying he's been carrying Indian cricket for 22 years. It's time we carried him a little bit as well. But I think in the white ball game, where he's peerless in the white ball game, I think his defining moment came a little after India won the World Cup. It came in Australia in 2012 in that run chase against Sri Lanka in Hobart. 320, 40 overs to get them. Virat Kohli gets 133 in 86 balls and just guided India home. For a young man to be able to look that chase in the eye and say, this is how I'm going to do it, was a very, very early indicator that he was going to be the star of many run chases in Indian cricket in the future. That when it came to the run chase, he would protect the batting side, much like Castrol Active's Activons protect your bike engine, whether running or off. It wasn't till 2011, though, that Virat Kohli played Test match cricket. Though it started playing for India back in 2008, it wasn't a happy initiation. It tells you that even the very greatest can sometimes take a lot of time. Struggled in the West Indies, wasn't picked for England in 2011, got picked for Australia in 2011, didn't have a great start, about to be dropped in Perth. I met him that day. You could sense that people weren't sure, yes or no, and Dhoni said, no, I'll play him. He got runs in Perth, difficult conditions, then went to Adelaide and he got a century. And then for the next 2 or 3 years, Virat Kohli was very good. Then, I believe, came another turning point in his life. And not all turning points come from successes. Sometimes your biggest change arises out of failure. And he got just 130, 140 runs through the Test series in England in 2014. And I remember, like it was yesterday, I remember saying that this could be just the thing that Virat Kohli needed to become aware of the lows and tell himself, I'll never go through this again. He came back, spent some time with the man who looks up to as his master, the master, and then he went to Australia and played the first of many great innings. that second innings in Adelaide, we were all sitting and watching like this. He got 400s there, and much like Australia in 2011, it was once again Australia to the rescue in 2014-15, and what a player he's been since. I mean, you think of Virat Kohli, you think of a wow white ball player. How good a test match player has he been? And I thought 2018, by which time he's mature, he's captain, was really his announcement to the world, saying, test match batsmen, there's so many around the world. No, I'm different. He played 3 innings in 2018. 1 at Centurion, 1 at Edgbaston, and 1 in Perth. If you play one of those in a year, you can look back and say, you know what, tough conditions, it was special. He played 3, and each one of those was just a joy to behold. And in 2018, he just rewrote the rules of white ball cricket. He made, and I'm laughing because it's just unreal given we watched T20 one-day cricket over the years. 14 games, 1,200 runs, 14 innings, average of 133, strike rate of 102. Virat Kohli would have scored runs with a toothbrush that year. It was wonderful. It was sublime. That was when I think I might have first said he's got a GPS in his head. He just knows where everybody is.
His approach was always to learn and to always understand his game and figure out how he can better himself. You know, so he sets that standard very high, and he keeps raising that bar. You know, so he didn't stop at just playing the game, but you know, with his approach also, you know, he's a true leader in that sense. Leads by example.
As we record this, he's got 41 one-day international hundreds to go with the 25 test match hundreds that he has. Will he get to 100? The 100 international hundreds? We'll wait and see. But as a white ball player, as I said a little while back, he's absolutely peerless. 33 of those 41 hundreds have produced a win. And now Virat Kohli stands tall and surveys the cricket world. He's at a stage now where he can play for posterity. And I think you can see that. The Virat Kohli that we knew, the wildly passionate, the person who took on others, never short of a verbal joust. Suddenly we're starting to see a calmer Virat Kohli. We're seeing a more statesman-like Virat Kohli. We're seeing Virat Kohli who's still a very powerful opponent. He'll still look you in the eye, but there's a gentler side to Virat Kohli that's coming through. And I get the feeling that Virat Kohli now thinks that his place in history will come as much as the player that he was, as the person that he will be. And maybe it's a Tendulkar influence there again, but I think he sees himself as that kind of person, and may it be that way, because Indian cricket is going through a phase where it could do with a long journey of Virat Kohli just overseeing everything, as a protector almost. Much like Castrol Active's Actibons protect your bike engine, whether running or off. And so our Castrol Active champion, Virat Kohli, outstanding T20 player, peerless one-day international player, and yet someone whose heart says he wants to protect test match cricket and ensure that test match cricket has far greater longevity than some people think. What a champion.